Okay, so we're going to continue where we left off, and basically this is the next step of what we were going to do, because last week we stopped at, I think it was 29, yeah. So exercise 32 is a warm-up for the next topic, which is the present perfect progressive versus the present perfect. So, the progressive, the main difference here. We're going to read these situations and answer the questions. So there's 1, 2, 3 situations, and there's 3 questions. We're going to go over these situations, read them, analyze them, and then we're going to answer these questions about them. So situation 1, Roger is having trouble with math. I am helping him with his homework tonight. I have been helping him since 6. Roger is moving to a new apartment. I have helped him move furniture several times this week. And I sure was busy last week. I helped Roger with his homework, and I helped him move to a new apartment. Okay? So let's keep in mind these verbs that are in bold, as you can see with my mouse pointer here. Question A. In which situation does the speaker emphasize the duration or the time that something continues? Okay? In which of these situations is time or duration specified? Okay, Jose says in part 1, Roger is having trouble with math. I am helping him with his homework tonight. I have been helping him since 6. Okay. All right. That is true. This one does specify the duration or time that something continues. All right. Let's check out question B. In which situation or which situations is the speaker finished with the activity? So Roger is having trouble with math. I am helping him with his homework. I have been helping since 6. Roger is moving. I have helped him move several times this week. I sure was busy. I helped Roger and I helped him move.
Situación 3.
Okay, in situation 3, we have was, which is past. We have last week, which is past. We have helped in both sentences. So this situation 3 is completely in the past, which is good. But is there another situation in which the speaker is already finished with the activity? Let's take a look at time verbs in situation 1. I am helping him with his homework tonight. Tonight, of course, sounds like present, and then we have a present verb, am, here. So situation is not in the past, it is in the present, in the right now. What about situation 2? Roger is moving to a new apartment. We are using a present form of the be verb, but I have helped him move furniture several times this week. Helped is, of course, a past participle of the verb. Have implies that it is present, but the fact that he's mentioned it's been several times this week also sort of makes it in the past. So situation 3, definitely. Situation 2, somewhat. It's kind of incomplete there. Okay, and finally, question C, sorry. Do you think the activity in situation 1 or 2 is more recent? And why? Recent, it's a cognate, reciente. Which activity occurred more recently? Is it 1 or is it 2?
Situation
1, and how do we know this?
Porque dice, I have been helping him. Y la otra dice, I have helped him several times this week.
Exactly. So this one says, apart from it says tonight, it also says I have been helping him since 6, so that also implies today. And the other one, como dijiste, exacto, it says this week, so it's not as recent as tonight. All right, very good. So let's continue with this presentation here. The present perfect progressive versus the present perfect. Okay, and really the only difference here is the progressive because everything else is pretty much the same. So Gina and Tariq are talking on the phone. They have been talking on the phone for 20 minutes. The present perfect progressive expresses the duration of present activities. Okay, duration of present activities using action verbs as in sentence A. The activity began in the past and is still in progress. Okay, so this is basically how long something takes. They have been talking on the phone for 20 minutes. Okay, so in this one, we specify the amount of time. So this is the duration of our present activity. And how do we know that they're still on the phone? Well, because it says so right here, they are talking on the phone. It doesn't say they were talking. It doesn't say they stopped talking. It says they are. So it implies right now. So it implies that this began approximately 20 minutes ago and it is still happening now. So that would be the progressive. And si se fijan, the verbs have, been, and then talk with ing. Okay, just like we've already seen. Present perfect. The present perfect expresses 1 and 2. 1 says repeated activities that occur at unspecified times in the past. Que ya eso lo hemos visto. The non-specific times, we've already discussed that previously. And sentence B. So Gina has talked to Tariq on the phone many times before now. That would be the correct way of saying that. The incorrect form would be Gina has been talking to Tariq on the phone many times. In Spanish, it kind of makes sense, but in English, it doesn't. So Gina has talked to Tariq on the phone many times. It is unspecified because it doesn't say how many times they've spoken, how often they speak. It doesn't say how much time they spend on the phone. Okay, so the present perfect expresses number 2, the duration of present situations as in D, using non-action verbs. So this one does specify the duration with non-action verbs. So Gina has known Tariq for 2 years. Okay, Gina ha conocido a Tariq por 2 años. The incorrect way of saying this would be Gina has been knowing Tariq for 2 years. In Spanish, it kind of makes sense. Gina ha estado conociendo a Tariq por 2 años. It makes sense in Spanish, but it doesn't translate well in English, at least context-wise. So this one would be the incorrect. And Gina has known, lo ha conocido. Okay, so the present perfect expresses unspecified times of the past or duration of present situations. And the present perfect progressive, it expresses duration of present activities. So se fijan aquí que this one says activities and this one says situations, and it also uses non-action verbs. Okay, activities implies action. So activities, action. And situations implies non-action. But we're going to see that a little bit later. So now let's mix them both. For some, but not all, some verbs, duration can be expressed by either the present perfect or the present perfect progressive. Examples F and G have essentially the same meaning and both are correct. I have been living here for 6 months, or I have lived here for 6 months. Y aquí dice que it's essentially the same because one could imply something different, but really, básicamente la misma cosa. That this is my house, this is where I've lived for 6 months. Of course, the second one, it can imply that you may no longer be living there, but we're not going to focus on that right now. And the reason why I say that is because it ends with D, so that would be the simple past form. But since it has have, that would be the present perfect, and it has a different meaning. Anyways, Often, either tense can be used with verbs that express the duration of usual or habitual activities or situations. But basically, what that means is either tense can be used with things that happen regularly or every day. So, what do you do every day? Or what do you do regularly? You live, you work, you teach, you hopefully don't smoke, you wear glasses, you play chess, you go to school, you read the same newspaper, you check your phone, blah, blah, blah. So, in sentence H, sentences, Ed has been wearing the glasses since he was 10, or Ed has worn glasses since he was 10. Just as it says here, they have essentially the same meaning, and they both are correct. Um, let's say Ed is 21 years old, so that means he's been wearing glasses for 11 years. Um, he has been wearing glasses, and he has worn glasses. The same thing happens. They both mean the same thing, but the second one kind of may imply that he's no longer wearing them. But we're not gonna see that right now. And finally, I've been going to school ever since I was 5 years old, and I've gone to school ever since I was 5 years old. Igualmente, como dice aquí, they're essentially the same meaning, and we're gonna see them as meaning the same thing. Okay? Okay. Exercise 33. So we're gonna complete these blanks with either the present perfect or the present perfect progressive. So it would be one or the other, and sometimes it could be both. So let's take a look at these first three. And number one, it says, A, I'm tired. We have been hiking for more than an hour. Let's stop and rest for a while. Is the hike to Glacier Lake difficult? No, I have hiked it many times with my kids. Do you like it here? I have lived here only for a short while. I don't know yet. Si se fijan, this one uses both the present perfect and the present perfect progressive because either one works. I have been living here only for a short while, or I have lived here only for a short while. They basically mean the same thing. Mm, could we, for example, change the second one into the present perfect progressive form? Well, let's insert it and see how it looks. No, not at all. I have been hiking. Okay, so no, not at all. I have been hiking it many times with my kids. This one doesn't make a lot of sense. Um, it, it, there is no congruence between this verb with the rest of the sentence, so I would say that it can't be changed into the progressive form. This one's already progressive, so let's see if we can change it just to the present perfect. I'm tired. We have hiked. Oh my God, ¿qué yo hice? For more than an hour. I'm tired. We have hiked for more than an hour. Let's stop and rest for a while. I think this one can work with either one of these two, but I think have been hiking sounds better because it implies, as it says in the definitions, that it's something that started earlier and it's still going on right now. Okay. Anyways, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and there's a couple of bigger blanks there. So son las 46. I'll give you 4 or 5 minutes for you guys to complete this by yourselves, and then we can check it out. So I'm going to mute my mic and just work for a couple of minutes, and then we can continue. Okay, so it's been a couple of minutes, about 4 or 5 minutes. All right, I see somebody. Was it? Okay, Guillermo has number 4. So let's see. He says have reading. Let's see what it is. I blank the same page in my chemistry book 3 times and I still don't understand it. Entonces, Guillermo says have reading. Let's see how that looks. Okay, there's definitely something missing here. We could, for example, just eliminate ing and let's take a look at how let's see how that looks. Sorry. I have read the same page in my chemistry book 3 times and I still can't understand it. Have read sounds good. If we want to make it progressive, then we need to make it present perfect progressive. So we would need to put have been reading the same page in my chemistry book 3 times and I still don't understand it. I think both. Wait, is my microphone on? Yes, it is. I think both of these work. Either have been reading or have read. I'm just going to do this. I think they both work here. So I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. All right, good. Wait. Oh, that's not cinco. Oh my God. Okay, so number 4, my eyes are getting tired. I read for 2 hours. I think I'll take a break.
I have been reading.
You say have been reading? Okay, I have been reading for 2 hours. I think I'll take a break. Okay. What about have read? Do you think that might work here? My eyes are getting tired. I have read for 2 hours. I think I'll take a break. I don't think have read will fit here for 2 different reasons. One is have read already, it implies that you've already stopped reading. But in this one, it says that you're about to take a break. So hay una incongruencia ahí. But another one is this sentence here, my eyes are getting tired. Okay, are getting. So that is already progressive. Okay, it ends with ing here. So para tener congruencia, we should use another progressive form here, have been reading. So in this one, let's just leave it as have been reading. And this one, we can do either one. Let's go to number 6. Let me see if somebody else answered these. 7. Okay, so Haley, that's okay. Remember, you can always just watch the class later or estar pendiente de cuál ejercicio hicimos so you can complete them by yourself later if you want. Anyways, vi que alguien dijo el 7, so I'm going to go for 6 now. Do you like the Edgewater Inn? Very much. I stay there at least a dozen times. It's my favorite hotel. So how can we complete number 6? Remember, it's either present perfect or present perfect progressive. So there's only 2 different possibilities answer-wise. Okay. Okay. So I've been staying. Let's take a look at this. So, do you like the Edgewater Inn? Very much. I have been staying there at least a dozen times. It's my favorite hotel. Do you think have been staying should remain or should it be have stayed? Voy a sombrear esto because that's the thing we're not gonna. Oh gosh. That's what we're trying to. Okay. So what if we just use have stayed? Do you like the Edgewater Inn? Very much. I have stayed there at least a dozen times. It's my favorite hotel. So the difference between have stayed and have been staying in this one. Um, well, have been staying implies de que sí. You may have stayed there earlier at some other time in the past, but it implies that you're staying there right now. But have stayed, it just implies that you've been there before many times. And I don't think that this one, I don't think that this person is staying at the hotel right now. So I think have stayed is the best option. Number 7, somebody wrote that in the chat. Okay. And perdóname que no estoy viendo el chat until a little bit later, so I'll try to be pendiente al chat, but I may take a little bit longer. So Josue have been crying and have cried. Let's see. Number 7. The baby's crying. Shouldn't we do something? He cried for several minutes. So Jose has been crying and have cried. Okay. Okay. So the baby's crying. Shouldn't we do something? He has been crying for several minutes. Or shouldn't we do something? He has cried for several minutes. I think they both fit, but I think one of them is a better option. Can anybody guess which one I mean?
Has been crying.
Okay, and
Have been.
okay. So why do we think that has been crying is a better option?
Porque dice for several minutes. So es como bien presente.
Okay, exactly right. It's basically exacto. It is present. It is saying it right here. The baby is crying. So it's not the baby was crying. It's the baby is crying right now. So exactly right. So this implies that this is currently happening and it started before and it's still going on right now. Okay. Who is your daughter's teacher for next year? I think her name is Mrs. Jackson. She's one of the best teachers at the elementary school. She teach kindergarten for 20 years. Okay, these are older. Okay. She teach kindergarten for 20 years. Okay. And anyone make a guess?
Have been teaching.
Okay. So I heard has been teaching. I don't know if anybody said anything else. She's one of the best teachers at the elementary school. She has been teaching kindergarten for 20 years. What if we were to use she taught or she has taught for 20 years? Does that mean the same thing or does it mean something different?
So is in past.
Mm-hmm. So it would mean that she may not be teaching anymore. Alrighty, that's good. So we're gonna keep it as. Oh, hold on. What happened here? Yo sé lo que pasó. Give me 1 second. Okay. So what I'm trying to do. Okay. So I'm trying to. Oh my God. Whatever. Well, hello, see. I was trying to join the meeting with my phone so I could be pendiente al chat at the same time as I'm presenting, but if it's gonna go crazy like that, mejor ni lo intento. Anyways, Ed played tennis for 10 years, but he still doesn't have a good serve. We could do either progressive or perfect here. Hmm.
Has been playing.
Has been playing. Perfect. Um, as you can see in this comment below, we could possibly use both. Let's see how that looks. So Ed has played tennis for 10 years, but he still doesn't have a good serve. Well, I think they both work. I think the first one fits better, but I think ultimately they mean the same thing. So I'm going to leave them as you see here. B, neither do I, and I play tennis for 20 years.
Have been have played.
Okay, so you say have played. Neither do I, and I have played tennis for 20 years. Okay, that's good. We could also use have been playing. And let's see how that one looks. I'm going to highlight the thing we're not going to look at. So neither do I, and I have been playing tennis for 20 years. And I think they both work. So I'm just going to leave them as is. I think if we were to choose either one, if we were to choose just one, I think we would choose have been playing and has been playing. I think they both fit best, but they're still good. Number 10, where does Mrs. Alvarez work? At the power company. She worked there for 15 years. She likes her job.
Has been working.
Mhm. Has been working. Fantastic. She likes her job. What about her husband? He's currently unemployed, but he'll find a new job soon. What kind of experience does he have? He worked for two different accounting firms and at one of the bigger software, blah, blah, blah. So she is currently working and he is not working right now. So we can't do the progressive here. We would need to be, we need to use the other one. So instead of has been working, how do we put this into the present perfect?
Have worked.
Has worked.
Okay, recuerden que have es plural. So we're not going to use have, we're going to use has. Okay? So he has worked for two different accounting firms and at one of the bigger software companies, blah, blah, blah. So I think this one looks pretty good. Let's just take a look at how it would look if it was the progressive form, and then we can explain why we're not going to use that. Okay, so if we were to use instead the progressive form, we would say he has been working for two different accounting firms and blah, blah, blah. The thing about this is that it implies that he's currently working, but we know that he is actually unemployed. So in este caso, we can't use the progressive form because that would be sería incongruente with the rest of the sentence. Okay? So we have been reading, we have stayed, has been crying, has been teaching, has been playing, has been whatever. Okay? Let's continue. No. We're going to look at number 35. So let's look at each pair of sentences, compare the meanings of the verb in italics, and put a check mark on the sentences that express duration. So right now we're just looking at sentences that have a specific duration. So each one has at least two options. So number one, Rachel is taking English classes and Nadia has been taking English classes for 2 months. Which of these express duration? Remember, duration as a cognate, duración. Is it A or is it B?
B.
B.
Okay. All right, good. So Nadia, we know it says 2 months, that's duration. So entonces supimos rajar la papeleta con la B. Number 2. Ayako has been living in Jerusalem for 2 years. She likes it there. Beatriz has lived in Jerusalem. She's also lived in Paris, in New York, and Tokyo. She's lived in lots of cities. Which one expresses duration?
A.
All right. Ayako has been living in Jerusalem for 2 years. Exactly right. Y Beatriz, qué bueno tener chavo, Dios mío. Okay, number 3. Jack has visited his aunt and uncle many times. B. Matt has been visiting his aunt and uncle for the last 3 days.
B.
Mm-hmm.
B.
Exactly right. Now for number 4 and number 5, we have more than 2. Excuse me, we have more than 2 options. So this may imply that there may be more than one sentence that expresses duration. So number 4, we have 4, and number 5, we have 5. Let's take a look at number 4. A. Cyril is talking on the phone. Cyril talks on the phone a lot. Cyril has been talking to his boss on the phone for half an hour. Cyril has talked to his boss on the phone lots of times.
C.
Okay.
C.
It's the only one that actually expresses time, so half an hour. That's a duration right there. In the other ones, like lots of times or a lot, they are plural, so we know that it's more than one, but it doesn't specify. It doesn't tell us exactly the number, so that's why we don't mark those. And number 4 is just C. And in number 5, Mr. Woods walks his dog in the park every day. Mr. Woods has walked his dog in the park many times. Mr. Woods walked his dog in the park 5 times last week. Mr. Woods is walking his dog in the park right now. Mr. Woods has been walking his dog in the park since 2 o'clock.
La E.
Which one?
La última, la E.
Oh, okay, sorry. Mr. Woods has been walking his dog in the park since 2 o'clock. Okay, good. But like I said, there's so many options here that there's definitely another one.
C.
Okay, see, Mr. Woods walked his dog in the park 5 times last week. So we have number 5 and we have last week. So they both imply duration and boom. Alrighty, so we have B, A, B, C, C, E. Okay. Let's continue with, esta fue el 35. Yeah, let's go to 38. Okay, so 38 is basically escoge. Choose the correct verb. In some sentences, more than one answer may be possible. Okay, so basically, I'm going to read it, and you're going to tell me which one it is, and I will just click and mark it as correct. I blank the windows twice, and they still don't look clean. I am washing, I have washed, or I have been washing.
I am washing.
I am washing the windows twice, and they still don't look clean. Yo estoy lavando las ventanas 2 veces y todavía no se ven limpias. That doesn't sound right, does it?
B.
Okay, let's go for B. I have washed the windows twice and they still don't look clean. Yo he lavado las ventanas 2 veces y todavía no se ven limpias. I think that one is perfect. What about C? Just to read it out loud and see what it feels like. I have been washing the windows twice and they still don't look clean. Well, this one is an action that started earlier. I'm talking about C, sorry. An action that started earlier, but is still going on right now. But the way that sentence 1 is written, it implies that you've already stopped washing the windows. So definitely B is the correct answer here. Okay, please tell Mira to get off the phone. She blanked for over an hour. She is talking for over an hour. She has talked for over an hour. She has been talking for over an hour.
She
C.
has been talking.
Okay, she has been talking for over an hour. Um, we could make an argument for B because we could say she has talked for over an hour, and that makes sense. That is correct. But it doesn't have congruence with the first half of that sentence. Please tell Mira to get off the phone, because she has talked implies that she stopped talking, but in this one it says that she's still talking. So en este caso it can't be B, and of course it can't be A because it wouldn't make sense. She is talking for an hour, so it's definitely C. 3, where are you? I blank at the mall for you to pick me up. I wait at the mall. I am waiting at the mall. I have been waiting at the mall.
Letter B.
I'm waiting.
Okay, I think everybody said the same thing. B, where are you? I am waiting for you. I'm waiting at the mall for you to pick me up. You could make the argument for letter C as well. Y como dice aquí, in some sentences, more than one answer may be possible. Right? Hold on. Okay. Where are you? I'm waiting at the mall for you to pick me up. And that makes perfect sense. Where are you? I have been waiting at the mall for you to pick me up. And actually, I'm going to mark these both as correct. Because she is still waiting. So I have been waiting. She started waiting earlier and she's still waiting now. And I know that she's still waiting now because she's asking, where are you? So, ya un ratito esperando. All right, number 4. We blank at the Lakes Resort once. We want to go back again. We stay. We have stayed, or we have been staying.
Have stayed.
Okay, have stayed. We have stayed at the Lakes Resort once. We want to go back again. And this is good. And why can't we use letter C? Why can't we say we have been staying? Well, let's just read it. We have been staying at the Lakes Resort once. In Spanish, that would be nos hemos estado quedando en el hotel una vez. There is no congruence. It doesn't really make sense because have been staying implies, it's something that is happening, pero el once significa que ocurrió una vez en el pasado. So there is
Sería solamente stay.
Have stayed, exactamente. Y stay, pues, implica presente, pero aquí te está diciendo we want to go back again. So, está diciendo que no estamos ahí, que queremos volver, pero stay dice que estamos ahí ahora. So, this is incorrect as well. It's just B. Number 5, where have you been? The baby blank, and I can't comfort her. The baby cries. The baby is crying. The baby has been crying.
He's crying.
Okay. Okay, where have you been? The baby is crying and I can't comfort her. Okay, that's good. Maybe let's take a look at C and see how it looks. Where have you been? The baby has been crying and I can't comfort her. Do you think, is it just B or is it both B and C?
I think it can be both.
I think so too. Aparte de eso, it also, there is congruence here with where have you been, which is have and been, which is perfect. And we have here has been. Of course, we have crying, which would make it present perfect progressive. But hay un poquito de congruencia between these two verbs. So this is also another hint that this may be correct. But para no complicarnos la vida, it just sounds good. So both are correct. That's exercise 38. We can do 39. Y el 40 lo quiero hacer para otra cosa. Okay. So this one, you're just going to have to read and tell me whether or not it's true or false. So this this reading is about honeybees. You guys know about bees. Have you heard about the problem of disappearing honeybees and why are honeybees important to fruit and many other crops? Of course, you know that bees are pollinators. So They help flowers and other plants basically reproduce when they eat from them. But anyways, con el poquito tiempo que nos queda, I just want you to read this, and then once you've read that, you tell me de esta premisa which are true, which are false. Okay, I'm going to see if I can zoom out a little bit so you can see it all de cantazo. Though you have this presentation on Canvas anyway. Yes. Okay, you should be able to see everything there. And now that the last minute, I'll just ask which number is which letter.
First, false.
Number 3, true.
Second, true.
And number 4, true.
Number 4, false.
Profesor tiene el micrófono apagado.
Thank you. Okay, so lo que estaba intentando decir es que number 4 está diciendo beehives have been disappearing. No está hablando de la abeja, está hablando del panel. So, have the beehives been disappearing, or is it just the bees?
Just the bees.
Okay, so let's take a look at the sentence here. Bees live in colonies or hives, and thousands of beekeepers have been finding their hives empty. So está diciendo que their hives are still there, there's just no bees in them. So number 4, are the beehives disappearing? True or false?
False.
False.
Okay, because we're talking about the hives and not the bees themselves. Exactly. And number 5, finally, there are only 4 reasons why honeybees have died.
False.
This is false. If you look at this sentence over here, there have been many theories about why this has happened. For example, disease 1, 2, 3, 4, and then scientists now think there may be a virus and a fungus. So that's 6 possibilities. So they're all hypotheses, they're all theories, so we're not exactly sure. So the only 4 reasons why honeybees have died is absolutely false. There's many different reasons, we don't know. Okay, so basically we've gotten exercise 32, 33, 35, 38, and this is what? 39. Okay, we don't have time to complete 40, pero el 40 a mí me da una impresión de que pudiera subirlo a Canvas for points, so I may do that. Yeah, we don't have time anyways. So guys, I'm gonna let you go. Remember that we will meet again on Wednesday. I'm working on the test. So far, I haven't completed it. So, mientras yo no lo haya terminado, I'm not going to give you any details about it, okay? I hope to finish it by Wednesday, and then on Wednesday, I'll give you details. But for now, just don't worry about it, and have a nice day. Se me cuidan José, Josué, Karim, Guillermo, Odalis, and Jeremy, Lisanji, Natalie, Gabriela, Delianis. And now I'm going to pasar asistencia. Okay. Luis Mari, have a nice day. Kimberlis, Joniel, igual. Derek, have a nice day. Okay, me queda Sebastián, me queda Genesis, Alondra, Gabriela. Let me stop recording.